Hello, welcome to Calls with your Kinky Bestie. I'm Emma. I am a submissive and mentor for fellow kinksters. This podcast is all about insights into kinky life and dating, sharing my personal experience and stories, and help share mindset shifts too to get you into a confident space, more confident than you are now. So get ready. It all starts now. Hello, my lovely kinky bestie. We're answering more questions about kinky dating, specifically like what's keeping you stuck with kinky dating and creating just offering some quick mindset shifts to get you, in a more optimistic place, clear those mental hurdles, just get you doing the thing. So last week we talked a lot about like all the logistic places to find kinky people, facing your fears with it. What if you feel a little bit too kinky? Just all the lovely things. And so that if those are topics you're interested in, definitely listen to that episode too. And then this week we're going to be talking more about like setting up your life, like if you've got life hurdles in the way, like living with your parents. What if you've got chronic illness? What if you have like a vanilla partner? What if you're demisexual? Just like all of that kind of goodness is all happening today. So this is in the format of like an Instagram Q&A where users like kinksters submitted questions to me and I responded. So I am reading out those responses or those questions right before I'm doing the answer. So just so you know, that's why it's a little wonky. It's like clipped together. But if you prefer this visually, you can totally just watch the series on Instagram too. It should be a saved highlight on my profile. And yeah, I hope this is really, useful for you. I know I've gotten so much positive feedback on Instagram about this. I just wanted to share this over here on the podcast as well. And by the way, I had other episodes planned for this week and last week and actually already recorded and like show notes written and everything. So, we've got a lot of content coming out on the podcast. But, I just thought this was really relevant to what was going on over there, and I wanted the podcast to be looped into it as well. So enjoy these lovely questions and answers about getting unstuck with kinky dating. All right, we'll roll it now. What's keeping you stuck with kinky dating? Topic number 11. Being stuck, apps sucking, and not having queer community. As far as the apps sucking, I say if you're noticing that the people that are matching with you aren't actually your vibe and they're not compatible partners for you, go back to your profile. There's something about your profile that's attracting that. So, even think about what your intention is for a partner and what it is that you're wanting to find, whatever. I talk you through the entire process of setting up an online dating profile with the course here, specifically for being kinky and like my little sneaky moves or whatever. But recalibrate your profile if you're attracting the wrong people. And sometimes if you do like make a drastic change to your profile, apps will save like who's matched with you in the past. And if someone said no to you, like you're not going to show up again. So if you've changed how you're presenting in a big way and you're like going to be wanting to attract different people, you might have to reset some apps or just like get on new ones that don't have that swiping history with your old profile. And if you're shy, like that's who you are normally, then be shy, show up shy, do the things anyways and do it shy. That's going to be authentic to who you are and, how you are in your day-to-day and how you will be in a relationship and stuff. That's great to just, present as who you are. If you are not normally shy, but you're just shy in these settings, then that's another thing. We could talk about that. But yeah, if you're a shy person, just do it shy. And as far as like the queer community goes, there is a queer community wherever you are. Queer people exist. They just do. That's how it is. They might be hiding behind the surface. You might have to do some digging. You might have to be the one who sets up the event for people to come out. Go back, like the past 10 stories are all about community and finding it and creating it and all the good stuff there. What's keeping you stuck with kinky dating? Topic number 12. Managing chronic illness, work, low energy, and not coming across as flaky. Haha, now we get to do the problem solving stuff. I love the problem solving stuff, by the way. This stuff hits my brain so well. I love doing it. This is where like I really shine on the one-on-one calls. Okay, chronic illness, having low energy, and coming across as flaky. So you're gonna have to set up your dating process according to that. So this is all outlined in the Kinky Dating course, the link's there. But whenever you're setting your intentions of like the partner you want to have and the type of relationship that you want to have, all of that, like the way you need to show up in a partnership and what you need from a partner as you showing up with like, you know, your chronic illness and low energy, that you can carry that intention through the rest of your dating process too, and set it up in a way where the people that you're meeting and like matching with are going to be accommodating of that, and not only accommodating of that, but, you know, like interested in that and are going to be a good fit for it. Here's a way that can look. You're definitely going to want to spend more time in the intention setting phase, in the like boundary setting phase, and also the pre-screening. Like before you're actually meeting someone, make sure that they are really aligned for the thing you want before you're even spending the energy right. And that's just for you. Like that's not for like whether or not this person thinks you're flaky, but that's whether or not like dating is even going to work in your life and be supportive of what you need as a human being. So I would really recommend online dating to you. I don't think this is the best option for everybody, but in this case, what's nice about online dating is you set up a profile one time, and we can be thoughtful about where that is and how it's set up and stuff. I outlined that whole process there. But you set it up the one time, and then no matter if you're asleep, no matter if you're having a low energy day or whatever, people are still able to find you and start like pre-screening themselves and messaging you and doing the work, you know? Whereas in real life dating, you're only going to meet people as you're showing up in real places with the energy to meet people, which is exhausting.
What's keeping you stuck with kinky dating? Topic number 11. Still living with my parents. And this comment had 3 crying emojis after it.
So in the intention setting process, where you're deciding the type of person you want to be with, the relationship that you want to have, where you're living now can tie into that. It sounds like you don't want to be with your parents from the 3 crying emojis, but if you do want to be like living with your parents, if that's part of your life and what you want to continue doing, then you need to be mindful of that and like setting up your whole like dating system accordingly. But okay, so with that in mind, it sounds like you don't want to be with your parents long term, and not in your dating relationship, it sounds like. So with that in mind, make that your manifesting priority, is like setting up a life where you are not living with your parents and setting up your housing situation to be accommodating and like set up to support the type of relationship you want to have and the place that you want to have it in. But still keep dating, because as part of manifesting you having that relationship, like where you're with a partner. So if you want to have a partner, but your housing situation isn't, like if your life isn't perfectly set up in all the other ways that you'd want your life to be set up in your relationship, you should still keep dating anyways. Like be working on those things, but also you should be dating. Like you shouldn't be waiting until things are perfectly set up and ready to go before then you jump in, because you could spend your whole life doing that, is waiting for the circumstances to be perfect. So this is something you want to have. Start doing it for yourself now and thank yourself later whenever you have it and it all lines up, because it can, bestie.
What's keeping you stuck with kinky dating? Topic number 14. Dating does not fit my demisexual brain.
Oh my god, hi, I'm demisexy too. What? Why? What do you mean? I think it's perfectly set up for it, because dating is where you're taking someone, like you're starting a vanilla relationship with them first, and like more of the romantic stuff, and you're getting to the sexual stuff later, usually. Like, and you, if not usually, like you can still set it up that way. Whereas the alternative to dating is like starting with a sexual relationship and then working backwards, which some people do, and like that can work, whatever. It doesn't sound like that'd be a fit for you, obviously, but you know, set that up in your intention setting process, and in your like the screening that you do too, is presenting yourself with those boundaries of like what you need to be able to like even consider a sexual relationship with somebody. Like if you already know there are certain things that like personality traits that are like more interesting to you, then start screening for that and setting that up like way ahead of time.
What's keeping you stuck with kinky dating? Topic number 15. Having a vanilla partner.
Before I get to the very last one for now, if this is something that you're going through and you are like really wanting to find kinky partnership, this is my entire course on how to do it, laid out step by step from a neurodivergent person to a neurodivergent person. If that's you, or even if that's not you, like it's still step by step laid out easy. I've been in my kinky partnership for almost 2 years now. It's fucking awesome. I want everybody to have this. But like I spent a lot more than 2 years getting there to finding him, you know, like it took me a really long time to find my dominant. And a lot of heartache and a lot of like consuming a lot of vanilla dating content that was really helpful, but I can't tell you the mental backflips I had to do to figure out like how to tweak it for kinky dating, and just like all the like fucking mistakes I had to make. It was ridiculous. And I don't want that for you. I want that to be a lot easier for you. So here's a ready to go course that you can take from me on how to do this. Last one, if you have a vanilla partner, what the fuck do you do with that? Great question. It depends. So if you are still like if you're in a non-monogamous thing where you're open to date other people, I would take the kinky dating course and just go through that process. However, if you're not in a situation where you're like ready to go, can date other people right now, or just you want to be in a vanilla partnership and experience your kink within that and not bring in other people, I'm working on a course for that because this is a really common thing. It's coming out at the end of the month, I'm planning. So get on my email newsletter list. The link is here so that you can, know about it whenever it's launched. Because yeah, this is a really common thing. It's not just you, and I'm really, really sorry, friend. It's a tough situation to be in, for sure.
God, that was so much fun. I love that. I love talking to people. I love connection. Can you tell? I'm actually like in a really low energy state of my cycle, but I'm still just like bursting at the seams with this because this is my jam. Okay. Yeah. One last time, if you are wanting the next step to work with me and continue this work and get the shit that you want to have happen that's kinky, we can do that. Here are the links to the Kinky Dating course, if that's where you are, a link to book one-on-one calls with me if that's where you are, and also there's a sign-up form there to join the Bestie Squad, which is my email newsletter, so that you'll be notified about like things like the vanilla dating course coming out, maybe fun specials about one-on-one calls and like courses that I have, and also just like, you get notified about podcast episodes that I do, because I do a weekly podcast episode about kink topics and all sorts of good shit, and just like behind the scenes stuff I can't share on Instagram. So yeah. Okay, what do we think? Is your mind blown a little bit? I really got going there at the end. So the last 5 questions just had to be their own episode. They got a lot longer. So yeah, I hope this was really, really useful for you. If this content is useful for you, and if you are actively kinky dating, go take the Kinky Dating course. It's called the Kinky Dating Kickoff. You got the link to join that in the show notes here. And like I said in the little Instagram clip, you can totally sign up for my email newsletter list too. Or if you just prefer this format of like asking a question and getting direct, like super specific, tailored to you and your lifestyle responses to what's going on, you can absolutely book a one-on-one kink mentorship call with me as well. I'll have the link for that in the show notes too, which is one of my preferred ways to work with y'all. I am such a connector. I love responding to, direct feedback. It's part of my human design as a generator, but whatever, even if you're not into that, it's an option for you. So, okay, I will see you in the next lovely episode. Oh, and by the way, I would super, super appreciate if you're a listener to the podcast, if you could review me wherever you listen. Just give me some lovely stars so that the, podcast can be pushed a little bit more on these platforms to people who are searching for this content as well. Because, I've got a lot more listeners than reviews right now. So I would super, super appreciate it if you wouldn't mind to go give me a little review. But maybe that's on me, because I know I don't ask for reviews a lot. But here, I'm asking. All right. Thank you so much, bestie, and I'll see you next week. Bye. Thank you so much for joining me this episode. You can follow the podcast on the platform where you're listening to get updates with new episodes. You can follow me on social media at Kinky Bestie. I'm on Instagram. You can also check the show notes for any links or resources that I talked about in this episode, or just more ways to connect with me. And please share this with your kinky friends who could benefit from this type of content. There is also an option for each podcast episode to engage with Q&As or polls. So I'd love to hear from you and create future episodes around what you want to chime in with. So please check those out in the show notes too. And I look forward to hearing from you. Bye.